शङ्करांश भूम शङ्करार्यपीठसद्गुरुन् शुद्धसत्त्वभासुरान् सुवर्त्मनीतभूसुरान् सर्वभूतसौख्यदान् क्षमाकरान् यतीश्वरान्।
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। ज्येष्ठेन्द्राणां पादपद्मे नमाम्यहम् मन्दिरपि वन्दनाद्येषां लिङ्गेत गुरुतुल्यताम्। श्रीगुरुचरणद्वन्द्वम् निस्सहद्वन्द्वम् निस्सहद्वन्द्वम् क्रान्तिग्रहोपशान्तिम् प्रांशुमयम् यस्य भजितमातनुते. So we had taken up the last in the 40th sloka in the last class. So the 40th sloka is a reply to the 39th sloka, where there is an objection that the passages like Tattvamasi, they don't have any instructive value in them because they don't ask a person to do anything at all. Whereas the Veda, as it is, some people think that it is meant for bringing about some action. So it has to impel a person in some action. So that is the purpose of the Veda. That's what some people think. And the objection is coming from them. And so what they say is only the Vidivakyas can be taken to be, seen to be bringing about some action. Whereas some statement of a fact, it will not bring about any action. So Tattvamasi is some such thing where it is only a statement of a fact that the jiva is non-different from Brahman. So it will not bring about any action to be performed. So for that, the reply given is vidhireva na pravrittim janayati abhilashita vastu bodhopi raja bhavati suto abhuditi bodhena pravartate lokaha. So this is the 40th sloka. We had seen it in a cursory manner in the last class, so we will take it up in a detailed manner here. Vidhireva na pravrittim janayati abhilashita vastu bodhopi. So what we reply Acharya says in reply is, it is not that only an explicit instruction alone will impel a person to act. Even a statement of fact can also impel a person to do something. For that, he is giving some examples. Raja Bhavati, Suto Abhut. So Raja Bhavati means there is the king, here is the king. So if someone hears that there is a king, then he will immediately go to see the king or have some conversation with the king. So the information he has got that the king has come will impel him to go to the king or do some other action, announcing it to some other people and things like that. Then Suto Abhut. If someone is said that your wife has delivered a child or you have become father, then the person who hears that, the father, he will start doing some things like jata karma and things like that, which are injunctions on a person like him. So suto abhuditi bodhena pravartaka lokaha. So pravartate lokaha. So even this kind of a statement of fact can bring about action. So that is the reply given. So for that, in the commentary we see vidhireva vidivakyameva pravrittim janayati iti na vidhireva pravartakaha iti na. So it is not that only an instruction which is explicit, do this, do that. That alone, don't think that it will impel a person to do something. Into abhilashita vastu bodhopi ipsita padartha jnanamapi pravartayati. So if a person is expecting something, and if he gets an announcement that about that, then also he can there will be some action from that also. For example, a person in the railway platform is expecting a train to arrive. Then he gets an announcement that the train is arriving. So then he immediately starts gathering his luggage and things like that and getting ready to enter the train when it comes. So the statement that the train is arriving is not an instruction by itself. It is only a statement of fact. It is only an information. But still, we see that a person acts on hearing that kind of a statement. Abhilashita bodhasya pravartakatvam kva drishtam ityata aha. For that, the Acharya is giving an example. Rajeti. Raja Bhavati Suto Abhut iti Bodhena Lokaha Swayameva Pravartate. Raja Bhavati iti Bodhe Raja Pradarsanadi Pravritihi Lokasya Swayameva Bhavati. So when he hears that the king has come or the king has arrived in this town, then without being asked to do something, he himself, a person who hears this, he himself engages in some action which is relevant to the king's arrival and what he has to do or what his family has to do or what his community has to do and things like that. Then pravartaka vakya abhave api suto abhudityatrapi jatakarmado pravartate. So when a person is informed that he has got a son, then he will get ready to perform the rituals like jatakarma and all that. So this is the kind of reply given by the Vedantin to say that even a statement like Tatvamasi can impel a person to to engage in some action. Action in the sense here, it is not with a result to get some fruit in the other world or something like that. It is instruction to help him engage in Shravana. So the conclusion is from this sloka is that it is not that only a statement which is explicitly instructive, that alone don't think that will be enabling a person to or impelling a person to engage in some action. Even a statement of fact or an information can impel a person to act on it upon hearing it. So now we go on to the next sloka. Now, in the 40th sloka, we have seen that a sentence or an information or a statement of a fact, even if it is not directly of an instructive nature, like do this or don't do this, still it can enable the propelling of an action, like a son has been born to you or the king has come. So even this statement of fact can bring about action on the part of the hearer. So now in this next sloka 41, the Acharya is saying that even in those sentences where there is no vidhi, for example, like in the Tatvamasi sentence, even though the Atma is always resplendent and is shining in the body of the seeker, yet the Tatvamasi Vakya alone, by itself, cannot bring about the realization or the direct experience of this ever shining pure consciousness in one's own body, unless there is the intervention of the compassionate Guru. So the part or the role of the Guru is being emphasized in this shloka. Aikyaparaihi Shrutivakyahi Atma Shashvat Prakashamanopi Daishika Dayavihinaihi Aprokshayitum Na Shakyate Purushaihi. So the Acharya has introduced this shloka thus: Idanim Vidhi Vilakshanaih api Tattvamasyaadi Vakyaih Kevalaihi Gurukripam Vina Atmasakshatkaro na bhavati tyaha. So the Tattvamasya Vakya is Vidhi Vilakshana Vakya. It is not a Vidhi Para Vakya like Swarga Kamo Yajeta and things like that. It is Vidhi Vilakshana Vakya. There is no Vidhi involved in this. Yet even such a passage cannot bring about the realization of the Atman, direct realization of the Atman, unless there is the intervention of the Guru. So, Kevalahi Guru Krupam Vina Atma Sakshatkaraha na bhavati. The meaning of the shloka is Aikyaparaihi Shrutivakyahi. So, the Shrutivakya Tatvamasi is of the nature of bringing about the teaching the identity of the Jiva with Brahman. Even such a passage cannot accomplish the direct realization of that Aikyam unless there is the intervention of the Guru. Shashvat Prakashamanopi Atma. So the Atma is always available. That is the closest available. And it will never leave the Jiva, or the Jiva can never leave the Atma. It is so very intertwined with him. even such an Atma cannot be realized by this Jiva, even though it is so closely available to him, unless the Guru is pointing to it with his teaching and the allied yukti and things like that. So, daishika daya vihinaihi. So, unless there is the grace of the Guru, this Atma cannot be realized. So, this is the meaning of the shloka. In the commentary, the Acharya says, Aikyaparaihi akandartha pratipadagaihi vakyaihi tattvamasyaadi vakyaihi. So, the tattvamasyaadi vakya, as we have seen before, on the basis of the Soyam Devadattaha, that sentence or that analogy, this Tattvamasi Vakya will bring about the Akandartha, that is the meaning without any obstruction or without any limitation of the Chaitanya. So it is not showing that the Jiva Chaitanya is distinct and the Brahma Chaitanya is distinct. It is giving the knowledge of the infinite, unlimited, unobstructed Chaitanya. So that one Chaitanya, that is called the Akandartha, and that is the concept or the meaning that the Tattvamasi Vakya is all about. Shashvan Nirantaram Prakashamanopi. So this Atma in the Jiva is always resplendent and shining. In no state like the waking or the dream or the deep sleep or even swoon or coma or whatever, this Atma is always available in the Jiva. Only that in certain states, its manifestation is not experienced by the Jiva because the apparatus that is needed for the manifestation of the pure consciousness, that is the mind apparatus, that might be dormant in deep sleep and swoon or coma, but this Chaitanyam is not lost. So Prakashamanopi Swarupena Bhasamanopi, that Prakasham, the Chaitanyam is resplendent and shining as itself without any admixture of the body-mind complex. So pure consciousness is always shining in the Jiva. Deshikaihi, Daishika Daya Vihinaihi, Guru Kripa Viduraihi, those seekers who have not gained the grace of the Guru by their service to the Guru or by developing the Daivi Sampat and all that, they have not been able to, those who have not been able to gain the compassion or the grace of the Guru, for such people, even though the Atma is so close at hand, it can't be realized. Sakshat kartum na shakyate, na paryate purushaihi, panditaihi api ityartaha. So the commentator is adding, it is not ordinary seekers alone cannot realize this Atman without the intervention of the Guru. Even panditaihi, even those very, very learned and skilled in many various disciplines like Tarka, Vyakarana, Mimamsa and all that, even by such people, in the absence of the Guru's grace, the Atman cannot be realized. That is why in the Kathopanishad also we have got passages like Nayamatma Balhi Tarkena Labhyaha. So this Atma cannot be known by Tarka or by any other means unless the grace is there. And Bhagavat Pada also has clearly said that even if a person is very expert in many shastras, he should not embark upon this Atma Vichara by himself. That is, without the help of the Guru. So, Guru Anugraha Labhya Iyam Brahma Vidya. So, this Brahma Vidya is attainable only through the Guru's grace. Sarva Vidya Varishtatvat. Why do you say so? Because this Vidya is the highest Vidya. That is the pinnacle of all Vidyas. That is the topmost Vidya. That also it is the most fundamental Vidya. The Mundaka Upanishad says that Brahma Vidya Sarva Vidya Pratishtha. So the Brahma Vidya is at the basis of all other sciences. So this knowledge is the one which is the basic material with which so many other things are added and so many other disciplines have been conceived of. But this pure consciousness that is one's own self is non-different from Brahman, and the attainment or the direct realization of that pure consciousness, that is Brahman, as Brahman, is impossible without the intervention of the Guru. So this is the 41st shloka. So now we move on to the next sloka. Idanim karmopasanadibihi swachasvantaha shuddhadikari vakyartha vicharena swayameva atmasakshatkaravan bhavati kim guruna ityaha. So the now next objection is a person by performing karma, that is vihita karma and all that, to get chitta shuddhi and all that, and upasana to also get chitta shuddhi and ekagrata and all that, he becomes a person of a purified mind, and a person of a very one-pointed mind he gathers because of this upasana and all that. So he is a very perfect candidate for taking up this Vedantic vichara. So vakyartha vicharena swayameva atmasakshatkaravan bhavati. So he has got all the qualifications. So he takes up the vakyartha vichara and he definitely ends up getting the aproksha jnanam. So what is the need for a guru? Kim guruna? What is the guru going to do here? So that is the question. So the sloka is aimed at reiterating the need for a guru in the process of atma vichara. Virahita kamya nishiddho vihita anusthana nirmala svantaha bhajati swayameva bodham guruna kimiti tvaya na mantavyam. So the Acharya is giving a reply. Don't think that the guru is redundant. There is a need. So for that he says virahita kamya nishiddha. So a person who is he is a candidate who is acting as per the dictates of the Shastra. All the do's and don'ts he is observing very, very meticulously. Vihita anusthana nimala swantaha. So the don'ts also he is following as to avoid the don'ts, and the do's also he is following by implementing them or performing them. Bhajati swayameva bodham guruna kimiti taya namantavyam. So he by himself he will arrive at the truth. What is the need for the guru? Such a thing, such a question you should not ask, or you should not have such an attitude. So yes, you should not have that kind of an attitude. Na mantavyam. Virahita kamya nishiddha iti. Virahita kamya nishiddaha yakta kamyadi nishidda karma vihita anusthana nirmala swantaha nitya naimittika karmacharana nirmala antakaranaha adhikari. So in the Shastra, the person who has performed what he is asked to perform by the Shastra, and who has abstained from doing what he has been asked not to do, such a person is said to be an adhikari, because he by doing this he will be of a pure mind. Swayameva bodham bhajati. So by himself he will arrive at the truth. So what is the need for a guru? Atma sakshatkaravan bhavati. Guruna kim? Guroho kim prayojanam? What is the use of the guru in this? Everything can be done by this, achieved by this aspirant himself, who is pure and all that. So where is the need for the guru? For that, the Acharya is quoting a sloka from, I think it's from Yoga Vasishta. Jnaptestu karanam Rama shishya pragneva kevalam iti vasishtoktyascha iti tvaya akshepakartra evam na mantavyam na gneyam. So the sloka means jnaptestu karanam Rama. Jnapti is the aparoksha jnanam. For that, the cause is a Rama. Shishya prajna eva kevalam. The intellect of the aspirant alone is the one that gets the aparoksha jnanam per person. So this is the statement from Vasishta to Rama in the Yoga Vasishta. So the questioner is having this kind of this sloka in his mind when he is bringing up this objection. Idanim karmabhireva chitta shuddhi dvara bodho bhavati tyuktam tan nirakaroti. So now the Acharya is giving a reply to the person, to the questioner, that it is not that by karma alone the person will get chitta shuddhi and arrive at the truth. So that kind of this answer is being given in this shloka. So that one should not think that by karma alone a person will get the Atma Jnanam. That kind of an attitude should not be there. But that is the shloka here. Karma bhireva na bodha prabhavati guruna vina dayanidhina acharyavan hi purusho veda ityarthasya veda siddhatvat. So karma bhireva na bodha prabhavati. Atma Jnanam does not happen just by karma, just by performing karma, even if it is nitya karma only, without indulging in kamya karma and by avoiding nishita karma and all that, even then, it's not that the aspirant will arrive at the truth by himself. Guruna vina dayanidina, unless there is a compassionate guru to guide him and taking up to the logical end of this vichara, it is impossible for a person to get the aproksha jnana. For this, the Acharya is citing a passage from the Chandogya Upanishad, which is in the Sadvidya of the Shvetaketu Uddalaka dialogue. There the Tatvamasi passage occurs. Acharyavan hi purusho veda ityarthasya veda siddhatvat. So that Veda, that passage in the Chandogya Upanishad says, the person who has an Acharya, he alone arrives at the truth. He alone gets the knowledge of the Atman in the correct way. So he has to have an Acharya. So that is the Upanishadic dictum. So that is being cited in this shloka. So now in the commentary, karma viriti, karma vireva vihita nitya karma vireva bodaha atma sati na jayate. So the atma sakshatkara, the aproksha jnana will not dawn just by performance of karma. Dayanidhina kripa samudrena guruna vina shrotriyam brahmanishtam ityadi visheshana vishishtena acharyena vina na sambhavati. So it is impossible to get the Atmanjnanam without the role of the compassionate guru. And for that, the Acharya is stating a passage from the Mundaka Upanishad, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So the Acharya, the qualification or the trait or attribute of the Acharya is stated here. He is a Shrotriya and also a Brahmanishta. So Shrotriya indicates that he is very well learned about the Shastras. He knows the Upanishads and all very well, so that he can give the pramana whenever it is required by the aspirant. And also he is a Brahmanishta, that is, he has got an aproksha jnana and himself is established in Brahman. So a person with these two qualifications alone can communicate the truth in a successful manner. So that is the idea. And an aspirant also has to resort to such a guru to get the Atmajnana. Kutaha, so why does it specify this way? Acharyavan Purusho Guru Sadanavan Veda. So a person who has, an aspirant who has approached the Guru and sought his refuge, and he has sought the tutelage of that Guru, and with the Guru's acceptance, he is performing the seva also to the Guru. Guru Sushusha also is involved here, and for such a person alone, Atmajnana will dawn as per the when he undertakes the Atma Vichara. That's why in the Gita also we have Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninaha Tattvadarshinaha. So in the fourth chapter, the Acharya Bhagavan says that you have to inquire upon the truth by approaching an Acharya, by serving him, and also posing questions relevant to the Atma Vichara. So when all this is done, such a Jnani Acharya will guide you, and he will teach you the method of inquiry, and he will, with all the blessings, he will do all. So when all these things happen alone, a person will ultimately become a Jnani by getting the Atma Sakshatkara. So Acharyavan Purusho Veda. So that is the statement from the Chandogya Upanishad that is also being stated. Then in the next shloka, Nano Sarva Pramana Avedye Brahmavabodhe Vagrupasya Vedasya Katham Pramanyam Yad Vacha Anabhyuditam Yena Vagabhyudyate iti Shrutehe iti Akankshayam Aha. So now there is another objection, question. See, actually, this kind of a Vedanta Vichara will be a question answer session. In the kind of, it's a dialogue. So the question will be asked by the aspirant, and the Acharya will clarify. So this kind of a dialogue is what is very, very ideal for a Vedanta Vichara. That's why these slokas also have been composed in such a manner as like a dialogue. No Sarva Pramana Avedye Brahma Avabodhe. So here the question is, Brahman is the knowledge of Brahman does not arise from any pramana. So that's what the questioner wants to convey. No pramana can bring Brahma Jnanam, because the pramana that you are saying, like Veda or the Upanishad, or even the teaching of the Acharya, will be in the form of a sentence. It will be in the form of words only. It will be in the form of language only. So, Bhagrupasya Vedasya Katham Pramanyam. So, when the Veda itself is the corpus, is a corpus of full of words and sentences. So, how can that be a pramana for this Brahman, which is aprameya, which is beyond any pramana? For that, he is citing the part of the Upanishad, Kenopanishad, Yad Vacha Anabhyuditam Yenava Abhyudyate Tareva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. So that is the mantra there in the Kenopanishad. What it says is Yad Vacha Anabhyuditam. This Brahman cannot be known through any word, but then the words themselves are functioning because of Brahman. So that is Yenava Abhyudyate. So the speech, the organ of speech, Indriya, dog Indriyam, is functioning by uttering some words and conveying some meaning to some other person only because the power it derives from Brahman. So it's a very very crucial point the Upanishad is making. So what it says is all the organs, sense organs and motor organs and the manas, that is the antakaranam, all these are definitely essential for our vyavahara. But then all these are jada by themselves, and they perform their actions. They are designed to perform specific actions by Prakriti. But then all that will be possible only when it comes into contact with Chaitanya, Chit, because they are jada. They can't perform any action by themselves. It is something like an electrical gadget which is designed to perform some certain functions, but it can't do that unless power is connected to it. So the place of power is performed by this Atman here in this case. So Yad Vacha Anabhyutitam Yena Vag Abhyudyate. By the power of this Atman or the Sakshi Swarupam or the Chaitanya alone, even the Vagindriyam is functioning. But then that Vagindriyam cannot turn towards the Atman and teach the Atman or reveal the Atman. So it is not designed that way at all. It is incapable of doing this also. Iti Shrutehe. Iti Akamshaya Maha. So this is the doubt. For that, the Acharya says, gives the reply. Vedo anaditaya va yadva parameshvara pranitataya bhavati paramam pramanam bodho nasti swatascha parato va. So here what the Acharya says is the Veda is the ultimate pramana. It doesn't happen without this pramana at all. So Vedaha anaditaya va yadva. See, in the previous case, the objection was for the need for the Guru, and it was settled. Now the objection is for the need for the Veda itself. So that is what is being settled here. Vedo anaditaya va yadva parameshwara pranititaya. So in two ways, the Veda is pramana to us. It is because it is anadi. It is not. It doesn't have a beginning at all. So it is there forever, and it is not composed by anybody. Yadva parameshwara pranititaya, or it can be seen as being brought out by the Lord. So it is. So one is that it doesn't have a beginning. It is not composed by anyone, and the other one is it is the Ishvara who has brought it forth to the creation. So these two are very very powerful reasons why a person should accept Veda as the ultimate pramana. Bhavati paramam pramanam bodhaha nasti swadasya paratova. So without this pramanam, this Atma Jnanam cannot happen by itself or by resorting to any other pramana than the Veda. So this is what the sloka says. Vedaha anaditaya iti. Vedaha rig yajus sama atharvana veda rupaha anaditaya utpatti rahitattvena yadva parameshwara pranitataya va ishvara nishvasa rupena avivyaktattvena va. So the Veda is of the form of Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. So for all these we have got the Upanishads also. For the Rig Veda, it is the Aitari Upanishad. Yajurveda, we have got Brihadaranyaka and all that. Samaveda, we have got the Chandogya. Atharvana Veda, they've got the Mandukya Upanishad, Mundaka and all that. So all these Upanishads are within the 10 Dasha Upanishads. All of them teach the Atma Jnanam in such a brilliant way. Veda Rupaha, there is out the 4 types of Veda, 4 shakas of Veda. Anaditaya Uttati Rahitattvena. So they are all Anadi, accepted as Anadi by all Astikas. So all Astikas have accepted this Veda to be Anadi. It doesn't have a beginning at all. It has been coming down in every cycle, every creation cycle, and who causes them to come out. So in every creation cycle, Ishvara creates and he creates the world and he brings forth the Veda also. And when this pralaya happens, the whole world along with the Veda will get into the source itself. And then in the next creation, it will come out. So that is how the world and the Vedas are brought forth in every creation cycle. So Uppati Arhitatvena Yadva Parameshwar Pranitataya. So here it is not stated that it is not meant that meant to convey the idea that Ishvara is the author of the Veda. No, Ishvara is also not the author of the Veda. Vedas are existing by themselves, but then Ishvara's role is in bringing them forth in the creation, at the beginning of every creation. Yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kamaduk. So in the Gita 3rd chapter, it is said that at the beginning of the creation, the Prajapati who created the world and all the beings, he brought forth the Veda also. He gave them the Veda also and instructed them that with this Veda, you fulfill all your Chaturvida Purusharthas. So whether it is Dharma, Artha, Kama or Moksha, for all of them, Veda is the Kamadhenu. So that's the meaning word used there also. So you can milk all your desires from this Veda. So that's what he says literally. Parameshwar Pranitataya va Ishvara Nishvasa Rupena Abhivyaktatvena va. So it is either manifested by Ishvara, or it is also, or it can be seen as it is brought out by Ishvara like breathing out. So like breathing out also, this similarly also is given in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He is quoting that passage also. Etasya mahato bhutasya nishvasitameta Rigvedaha Yajurvedaha. So this Rigveda, Yajurveda and all that are actually breath which the Ishvara has breathed out. So that is a simile. Of course, we should not take it literally that the Ishvara is there standing as a person and from his nostrils these things are coming. No, that is not the idea. What it says is, without any effort, he is bringing them up forward, just like the person without any effort, even with not even being conscious of breathing, he engages in the breathing throughout. So in that manner, the Vedas are brought up without any effort by the Ishvara. That is the idea of behind this Shruti. Paramam Pramanam Bhavati, Sarva Pramana Shreshtham Bhavati. So this is the Paramam Pramana. This is the ultimate Pramana, a means of knowledge with regard to with regard to Brahman and Dharma. Dharma is Punya and Papa and all that. For that also, Veda alone is a Pramana because the Punya and Papa, they are Atindriya. And Brahman is also Atindriya. For that also, Veda alone is a Pramana. So Upanishad Vakya Pramana Vyatirekena. So apart from this Upanishad as the Pramana, there is no other Pramana. Swataha Paratova Swabuddhya Paratova. So Swataha Swabuddhi. That is, by oneself, by one's own intellect, a person cannot arrive at the truth without the support of the Veda. Then Parataha Anya Pramanadina Va. So there is no other Pramanas also will not work here. Like Pratyaksha or Anumana or Upamana, independently they will not help here. Along with Veda, all these other Pramanas will be helping, but not without the Veda. So Anya Pramanadinava Bodhaha Atma Sakshatara. So Atma Sakshatara is impossible without this Parama the Veda. So in the next shloka, another question is taken up. Nano Vedaha Atmabodhe Pramanamastu Pravartaka Vakya Bhave api Suto Abhurityatrapi Jatakarmado Pravartate Tasmate Pramanantara Sapeksham api astu anumanavat anumanasya pratyaksha upajivakatvat iti akankshayaamaha. So now, okay, we accept that Veda is definitely important for this Atma Sakshatkara. Have that is an explicit sentence which is impelling a person to do something. Suto abhudityatrapi jatakarmado pravartate tasmat. So without the being impelled also, a statement of fact can result in the person taking up some action. So pravartate tasmat pramanantara sapekshamapi astu anumanavate. So we can infer that we can conclude that there is the role of some other pramana or a contribution or the cooperation of some other pramana also can be taken up here along with apart from the Veda, or along with Veda we can resort to some other pramana also. Anumanasya anumanavat. So he is giving the example of an anumana pramana, inference, the pramana of inference, logic. Anumanasya pratyaksha upajivakatvat. So always everyone has agreed that accepted that the inference anumanam, it has the basis for its basis the pratyaksha. Like in the case of the famous scriptural case of the inferring fire on the mountain, Parvato Vanhiman. So in that case also what is happening is Dhumavatvat, that is the reason given there. So a person infers that there is fire on the mountain by seeing through his eyes the smoke there. So there also pratyaksha is there as the upajivaka. Upajivakatvat iti akankshayaamaha. So pratyaksha and all these pramanas are also useful there. For example, in the case of the Parvata Vanhiman also, when he sees the smoke on the fire on the mountain, he infers fire to be there, even though the fire is not visible to him now. But then in inference, there is also another pratyaksha which is contributing. He has seen wherever there is smoke, there is also fire. In the case of a kitchen or in the yagashala and things like that, during the other times, he knows that. So this smoke is always attended by fire. That kind of vyapti he has observed. That is by pratyaksha only he has observed. So that pratyaksha will be helpful to him now in determining or inferring the presence of fire in this mountain, even though the fire is not seen by him here now. So this is the question. So now the answer will be, answer is, the shloka is, napekshate yad anyad yad apekshante akhilani manani vakyam tan nigamana manam brahmadi atindriya avagatau. We will take up the meaning and commentary in the next class. We will end the session here. Shri Guru Charanat Dvandvam Te Matita Dussahadvandvam Bhrantigrahopasantim Pam Sumayam Yasya Vasitam Atanite Shastram Sharira Mimamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande